What's going on, everybody? I am Wade Elliott, R&B pop singer, songwriter, and rapper, coming at you with my first video here, besides the introduction video that you've already seen before. But this will be my first YouTube video ever on this channel, and I'm so excited. Thank you all so much for joining me here. Now, I just want to get right into it. Let's talk about getting back to venues and playing shows again. I know with the pandemic now, we're not going to be able to get that very often. Right now, I believe it's only outside shows. But when it does come that time for us to get back in there, this is something you might want to know and to take notes on and to mentally prepare yourself when it comes to that time. So let's say right now we're going to talk about the sound person and we're talking about the light person. These are two big people that are making your live performance better than you can make it. So now if you're in a cover band or you're an artist who does cover stuff, or you're performing at bars or a place that doesn't have their own sound system, you're going to be the person who's going to be providing that. You're going to be the sound person and you're going to be the light person that's going to be providing that. Now when it doesn't come to that, when it comes to you actually relying on somebody else, that either the venue or somebody else who brought you on to the bill of this show, they're going to be the person that's going to be in charge of how you sound, if you sound good or bad, and the person how you look as far as the lighting, and if you look bad or not. So what I would suggest when you get there and you finally, when you want to ask about the sound person, who is the sound person here? Do you know when they'll be here? Because that's the person you want to be buddy with. Because and it's just basically because again, they're going to be the person that's going to make you sound good. So if you have a big band, say if you have 7 people to 10 people in your band or your group, you want to let them know right up front, like, hey, we need this, and this. Of course, strike up a conversation. They're not monkeys. They're not toys that you can just tell them what to do. You can strike up a conversation, try to find some relatedness, and probably build a relationship with that person. So next time, you come to that venue, it's going to be better. Your sound would be even better because he's already has a rapport with you. And also, sometimes you can possibly build such a good relationship with that person if maybe that person records on the side. That you have a home studio, or they know somebody who has a studio that could possibly get you in, maybe with a discount, either with him or his buddy or their buddy, however you do it. Or when you decide to go on tour and you need somebody who's going to control, you need a sound person, that person could be that person that you rely on. And there's many things you can do, but let's just start with the basics here. So when you get there, after you strike up your conversation, you want to be very clear on what you need, because if you set up and you're just like, oh, the sound person take care of it, and you got 5 minutes before you got to go on, like, oh, I need a DI box for my backtracks, or I need a DI box for my keyboard. Well, then that 5 minutes it's going to take about maybe 10 minutes, and that cuts into your set time. So you want to make sure that you hammer out these details with your sound person, and make sure you're also very respectful and courteous, because because they've already got paid to be there. They're already paid to be there, or they're getting paid regardless whether you sound good or you don't. Granted, they may get chewed out for it. Maybe, probably not. But they've already came and did their job, is to do the sound for you. It's not their fault that either you sound crappy or you sound like shit, because that's probably what they're going to blame on. It's like they're probably going to blame it on you because you were an asshole to them, so they're going to be an asshole back to you, and it doesn't really look well for your music career. Same thing with the lights. Most of the time the sound person will be working the lights. Bigger venues have their own light person that actually does it, or a lot of people have their light show already programmed into their laptop or their iPad. But sometimes if you're just starting out, you don't have those luxuries, or you don't have the budget for that. So what you want to do is possibly do the same thing with the sound person. If they get there together, strike up a conversation, get to know that person. I believe there was a time when I was in a band, I talked to this light person, and he actually went out to his car and listened. This was before YouTube was full of music, and SoundCloud and excuse me, and Spotify. At least this one has CDs that you'd hand out. So we gave him a free CD. Went out, listened to at least 1 or 2 songs to get a feel for what the lights or our sound is. Came back when it came to showtime. He actually, one of our best songs, our single at the time, he actually made that much better. That visual, because visuals are everything really, right? Because we see with our eyes. So, and it just looks good. So yeah, you want to make sure you are good with the sound person. Don't be a dick to that person. Again, this is your sound. They don't care about your music career because most likely they either are, this is just a side gig for them. They either have a full-time job. This is just a side gig for extra money. They probably have a home studio that they already work out of, and this is just some extra cash on the side doing local shows or filling in for a buddy. Like, it really doesn't matter to them. So of course, do that. Second thing is, again, I think I've already stressed this before, but make sure you tell them what you're working with. So if you need 5 microphones, let them know right away, because sometimes they don't have, some venues, even smaller ones, they don't have 5 microphones. So if they need to call a friend, or they need to run back to their home, because a lot of sound people, they have stuff at their house or they have it in their car already there waiting to be used. So you want to make sure you got, you let them know what you need. If you have a keyboard, if you have backtracks, if you use an electronic drum kit, if you have a big drum kit, just something they know. So they're not the last minute, last minute you get the setup in 15 minutes, 15-minute breakdown, 15-minute setup time. It's not a lot of time to do that. And if you have a big set, it's not going to work out, and that time cuts into your time. Going over setup time cuts into your set time, and then you got 10 minutes to play 5 songs, but you're not going to play. You're going to play about 3 songs, and you're done. And then you're bitter and pissed off. So, as well as the monitors. You also want to make sure that you have a clear monitor, because a lot of times when we start playing on stage and everything, our monitors, sometimes we hear something different, or sometimes it cuts out. If you're having trouble on stage and it's cutting out, sometimes they're not going to care if you're a dick. They're not going to care. So overall, be respectful to the sound person. Be respectful to the light person and anybody who is running the production at a show. Also, another thing, a little quick bonus thing, use for local people, for local bands. If you have a big expensive microphone, most of the time you want to leave that at home. If you're going to a bigger venue, if you're a touring artist or an international artist, you should bring your own stuff. Some venues, using their equipment is better than bringing your own, only because they've already tuned it and they've already worked out the kinks with that one microphone, or that just that microphone. I'm talking about singers, sorry, talking to singers. Best to use the house's mics. Again, they've already worked out the kinks. They already know when it comes to the microphone and the monitors, they already know how to cut out that feedback. They've already done all that and did all the tweaks. So to make the best sound possible, just go with the house venue. Yeah, I want to use my wireless microphone. Yeah, it sounds awesome and great. You can try that. Try to bring your own microphone. I brought my microphone one time to this venue called Ram's Head. It's in Baltimore, Maryland, where we live. And the guy who was working the side monitors, because they had the sound production in the front of the house, and then they had the monitors board on the side. And I told him, like, hey, this is an expensive microphone. I just bought this. He said, so what? Just use the house microphones. It's going to sound better. Trust me. Of course, I was younger then, and of course I ignored him. And after I got back, we actually recorded it through their house. They had like a video production as well. We did that, and it didn't sound too good. So that's a little regretful and a learning lesson there. So always go with the house equipment for singers and microphones, if of course it's not working out. Of course, we tried it when I was doing it. It didn't work out. I still went with mine. The result was not great. So, you can always try it, but then yeah. So, that's about it. So, yeah. Now, if you want more videos like this about possibly sound production when it comes to playing a venue, let me know down in the comments below. If you have any ideas for another video similar to this, also let me know in the comments below. If you want to find me on IG, you can always find me at I am Wade Elliott. That'll be in the description below, as well as my website, and as my new single that just dropped last Friday. If you're watching this would be on Tuesday, so it would be about almost 2 weeks since it's dropped. So if you don't know, check me out on Spotify as well. And yeah, thank y'all so much. I'll see you on the next video.